Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Brainbean here again. First of all, I just want to say sorry for the lack of uploads. It's been about 2 weeks since my last video, and part of that is due to a family vacation that we took for about a week, and then we all got sick while we were there, which is why you guys can still kind of hear my voice. I'm still getting over it a little bit, but I'm feeling good enough to get a video out there, and as you guys can see in the title of the video, we're taking a look at the eWin Champion Series gaming chair. Now, a lot of you have been asking me to do a chair giveaway, pretty much any type of video like this that I've done. So the folks over at eWin agreed to send a chair to one lucky subscriber, and I'll have a link down to a giveaway down below in the description, so make sure you guys check that out as well. But for now, let's go ahead and check out the eWin Champion Series gaming chair. So, as always, I like to start off with construction and design. And like I mentioned, this is the Champion Series from eWin. Now, looking at the chair overall, it is made of a cold cure foam that's wrapped in a polyurethane leather, which is kind of standard fare for most of these gaming chairs. Now, the nice thing about this particular chair is that in all of the contact points that your body is going to be resting on the chair, it comes in this breathable perforated leather in a diamond stitched pattern. And what that's kind of designed to do is to help increase breathability and make it so that the spots where your body's contacting the chair doesn't get too hot. And that's going to kind of minimize the risk of getting swamp butt or just overheating and feeling uncomfortable in the chair, which can be kind of gross. Now, one thing I've noticed as somebody who's reviewed over 20 gaming chairs now is that when you do have this perforated breathable leather, it does make the chair far less spill resistant because naturally those holes and things are going to soak up anything you spill into the foam of the chair. So maybe not the best thing for those of you that are a little bit more clumsy, but again, you also have to think that if you are sitting in the chair and you happen to spill a drink or something, most of it's probably going to get on you before it gets in the chair, but still something to be mindful of. The overall feel of the leather is actually pretty nice compared to a few of the other chairs that I've tried. I would say that the softness of the polyurethane leather on this chair particularly feels better than a lot of the other ones tend to have a more rigid and sort of slippery feel to them, like almost a plasticky feel. Whereas this one does have a little bit more natural feeling, a little bit softer, kind of like when you have a leather jacket that's brand new versus one that's really been broken in. This kind of has that softer, more broken in leather feel, which is nice. Now, the one thing that's pretty much standard universally between any gaming chair these days is that it will come with a lumbar pillow and a head or neck pillow. And a lot of the times, like you guys have seen in any of the reviews that I've done, I consider almost every single one of the lumbar pillows in these types of chairs to be completely useless. They're awkwardly shaped, they're usually way too wide, which results in you having this weird curve in your back, and I almost always recommend not using them. The one from eWin is actually, I would say, one of the top 2 or 3 that I've seen yet, and that's because it's incredibly thin, which actually does fill the natural curvature of your back much better than some of those speed bump shaped ones that just really don't feel all that great. And the same polyurethane leather with some of that breathable material as well carries over to the pillows and just makes for a really comfortable pillow that's a little bit better to position as well thanks to these straps here. It's they hold up a little bit better than some of the cheaper chairs that I have reviewed. Now, one thing to note about the neck pillow is that it's very small, and I would say it's about 50% of the size of a lot of the, I would say, the standard size chair that I have reviewed. But personally for me, I find that I like these pillows to actually fill the void space of behind your neck and not necessarily sit behind your head. So in that respect, I actually kind of like having a little bit thinner pillows. Aesthetically, one thing I really like about the Champion series is that it has this black on black profile to it. And a lot of times you see these gaming chairs are very in your face, bright colors, and that can be good if you wanted to tie into a color themed gaming setup, but not everybody wants to have a super flashy dedicated gaming office. So maybe you want to have something that looks great in a more professional office setting, but also is going to give you comfort for very long-term gaming sessions. And that's one thing that you don't typically see a ton of options in that more professional look. There are quite a few out there, but not nearly as many as those super flashy colors. And another thing I like is that the eWin logos, again, on a lot of these chairs, logos tend to be very branding heavy because, again, they're almost always used by streamers or YouTubers. And so you'll have huge branding almost always at the top where your head's going to rest on the chair, as well as on the back and pretty much all the pillows. And I do feel like the eWin logo is less intrusive and it's nice and small and not nearly as bad as some of the other ones, but of course it is still up there because that's pretty much standard with any of these chairs. So getting into the most important part now, which is obviously the comfort factor of the chair and just how good it feels to use. When I put this chair together, I'll admit at first glance I felt like it was just like any other chair. I mean, I've put together over 20 of these chairs now, and they really largely go together the exact same way and share a lot of very similar design features. And it's really once you start getting into the nitty-gritty of the features and the types of foam and leathers used where you start to kind of separate the better quality chairs from just your sort of generic or general chairs out there. And this chair especially doesn't necessarily look like it's anything that will stand above all the other gaming chairs out there, but when you actually sit in it, the mixture of that nice diamond pattern with the much softer leather like I mentioned, and the type of cold cure foam that they used gives this chair a little bit more squish and just more general comfort feeling out of the box than quite a few chairs that I've taken a look at so far. I've only really had one or two that feel good out of the box. Most of the time they do need a little breaking in. And in particular, one of the things that I really like about the Champion series is just how deep the chair is and how far out the wings come that really hug you into the seat. For me personally, that's my favorite part about a racing style gaming chair, is how they kind of come up on the sides and really hug you into it, especially in the shoulders. And so what I like to do is kind of lean into the chair a little bit more, keep your back nice and straight, and I'll have my arms out so that I'm looking straight at the monitor and everything's kind of nice and ergonomically aligned. And this chair really does facilitate that quite a bit. It feels really good to use on the body. Now, of course, you do have pretty much all the standard features again on the chair as far as all the mechanics of it. You do have the rocking. You can, of course, lock it to a certain position if you want. It does have the full reclining as well, where you can put the chair all the way back and, of course, sit all the way back up, do the old PewDiePie thing, as well as the ability to raise and lower the piston, which is going to be about your standard 4 inches or so of height, raise or lowering. And you do have the 4-dimensional armrests, which will slide forward and back, in and out, as well as up or down. And then at the base of the chair, you can widen them and you can take them off altogether as well if you're somebody that doesn't really like armrests. And the armrests are padded as well, which is always nice because sometimes they are hard plastic and that just really doesn't feel all that good on your arms. So overall, for $299, the Champion series from eWin performed much better than I was anticipating just based on what I was seeing. When you actually get in the chair, it's very soft and comfortable. And a lot of times, like I said, these chairs out of the box really do need to be broken in before you can really feel like you can spend a lot of time in them. And that's not the case with this chair. And between my wife and I testing out all the chairs that I've gotten over the years, we both agreed that this was by far one of the more comfortable chairs that we had gotten and set up and sat in right away. Now, there are a couple of things that I think could be a little bit better, and that's pretty much the case for any chair. Like I mentioned, the head pillow is a little bit small. Now, if you like it to rest behind your neck, I think it's the perfect size, but if you're somebody that likes to have it rest all the way behind your head, I think you're gonna find that you wish it was a little bit bigger. And I do feel like the base of the chair, the diameter of it could be a little bit wider just to give it a little bit more stable platform. Now, if you find yourself reclining in it or laying it all the way back, then you might feel a little bit unstable. But other than that, it does perform pretty well. But compared to a lot of the other chairs that I have seen, usually the base is a little bit wider. But anyways, guys, like I said, for $299, it really is a good deal. I've reviewed chairs that cost $350 or $400, and they were not as comfortable as this chair is. So I definitely recommend you guys check it out. eWin definitely surprised me with this one, and I'm happy to recommend it to you guys. Well, that's it for the video, guys. Let me know in those comments down below what you think about this chair, and of course, don't miss out on your chance to win one of these eWin's Champion Series chairs by checking out that link in the description below. Of course, if you enjoyed the video, please give it a like to show your support, and if you're new here on the channel, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any more of my videos or giveaways in the future. Well, that's it for the review, guys. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.